For about 10 months now, I've developed a habit of meditation. While for many people, this habit may seem daunting just looking at it, but I will tell you how to one, tackle this habit down, and also how to start habits generally. Now, if you stick for this whole video, you will find very, 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 very high amounts of appreciation, and also you'll be able to find out how to make the meditation habit much, much easier for you to incorporate in your day-to-day life. Tips that I don't want to waste your time. I'm just going to go straight into this. 1, you must start without high expectations. If you start with these expectations that are so tremendously high that you're not going to be able to reach them, then you will never be able to incorporate any habit in your life. Just let that sink in. When you have expectations that are too high, when you expect too much of yourself because of your huge ego, you will never be able to incorporate any habit. In order for you, I'm talking to you, to effectively and immediately do anything in your life, you must start with lower expectations. Now, to be more specific, with something like meditation, you may do something like, okay, I'll start with a 3-minute session today. That still counts. That's meditating. That's perfectly fine. But no beginner, or at least very few beginners, will be able to jump straight into a 20-minute session because the attention span that you have without it, and you haven't developed the growth quite yet to start with a session that is so immense and long. All right, now I'm going to get on to my second point. Select a time in your day to meditate. This doesn't just go for meditation. This goes for all habits. When you're able to select a time to do something, you will be able to do it much easier. Now, your brain is able to adapt to this type of thing a lot easier when you're doing things at a certain time. You may notice you shower when you get home from school, or you eat first thing in the morning. You do your homework just as you're about to go to bed, or maybe, if you're like some people I know, you do your homework in the morning, right? These habits are attributed to what we actually do going forward. If you are going to do something repeatedly at the same time every day, then you are significantly more likely to do that habit. This is why it's important to incorporate meditation in your routine. So for me, I start meditating in the morning. I do this for personal reasons because I believe it allows me to have more clarity for the rest of my day. But if you have any time that you have open in your day, then feel more than happy to welcome meditation in that moment. Now, this next point ties in a little bit with starting without high expectations, but it's good to start with slower sessions. As I was saying earlier, starting with a lower amount of time will allow you to significantly easier transition into the longer sessions. This will also help you develop some groundwork in being able to meditate for a much longer amount of time. The app that I use, called Medito, has a full-length guide on meditation, and it'll start you from really shorter sessions, and then it'll slowly work you up to really long ones. Now, some of these longer ones might be 30 minutes, and these will be daunting at first, but if you start slow, you will win the race. Another thing that goes in with habit making is creating a space, an environment for where you do your habits. Now, let's say you go outside to meditate. You have one specific area. You will be much more significantly attributed to meditation. And if you pair that with doing it at the right time, you will most likely, there's about, I'd say, a 90% chance that you will keep that habit. This is all referenced in James Clear's Atomic Habits. If you want to read further into that for more information, I'd highly suggest that book. And another thing, this may sound a little bit useless and it may sound a little bit unhelpful, but make sure to stay comfortable. When you're meditating, it is very important for you to try to minimize the pain that you feel. For me, for example, I cannot sit down with my legs crossed because I'm not the most flexible individual. So what I've done is I've just sat straight up on a chair, and I'm still able to meditate that way, just to help avoid my pain and help to stay comfortable. Because when you are comfortable, it's a lot easier for you to stay grounded and involved in the meditation that you're actually doing. So I'd highly suggest for you to, I'll go over this one last time, start without high expectations. Select a time in your day to meditate, Start with slower sessions, select a space for meditation, and stay comfortable. Now, this should be almost a sub-segment to the video, but I'll briefly be going over the 10 benefits. This will break any addiction. Single-handedly, what has been found to almost destroy any addiction that you have. Maybe this is video games. Maybe this is social media. Maybe this is, for very few people, I'd imagine, materialistic things. This mindfulness meditation will be the single-handedly greatest thing. Scientists have found that this is a single-handedly greatest thing to take down any addiction, because it allows you to ground yourself in the moment and truly ask yourself, is this good for me? Or is this just my emotions playing me? This also has reduced stress. In the beginning of my meditation journey, I didn't expect that meditation would have as great of an impact on my stress handling as it does. Breath work and being able to breathe in and breathe out properly has been shown in many, many different cases of study to reduce stress and cortisol that your body develops. Now, this also includes, it drops the cortisol that you develop overnight, and also it allows you to be more mindful throughout the day, understand the judgments of other people, understand the judgments of yourself, because I believe a lot of the time, many of the judgments that we have are just of ourselves to fit in, and this is perfectly fine. We're creatures that were built to be like this. However, it's important that we understand that what we think is not reality, and by meditating, you'll be able to fully understand yourself and the self a lot better. And for those of you who don't know, it will make you more mindful, and mindful means that you're more grounded in the moment. I'd like to go into that a little bit more, but mindfulness is, in my opinion, the awareness of the self, because if you think about it over time, who are you as an individual? Who are we as a society? And what is the point of everything that we do? Mindfulness meditation and deep reflection during, after, and just in general will help you understand this. But I believe in my past, before I meditated, trying to find meaning and being more mindful was a lot more difficult before I was fully able to understand the self and fully being able to understand other people. While I still have a large journey to go to 100% understand others, I believe that meditation and understanding how our mind and how the perception of others and ourselves truly affects how we are as people. This also reduces anxiety, and it helps you to understand the distractions. I believe that these two go hand in hand, because when you're anxious about something, a lot of the time it's just your mind wandering off and overthinking about something. And meditation helps to deter these distractions from fully grasping onto your mind and fully stopping you from being truly present in the moment. And when you're able to actually meditate and being able to actually understand how these distractions work, you will fully be able to incorporate all of this into your daily life and understand these distractions, these loud noises, these disturbances that aren't going your way. You will be able to combat that. You'll be able to stop this feeling of pressure and anger that you have every day and just go back to your calm breath and feel yourself calm down. In the modern world, another great development that we've had as a society is everything happens very quick. In a world of microwave food, a fast entertainment, many people may not be able to have the attention to do most things. Many people don't have the attention to sit down for an hour and just do homework. This is sad. We need to develop a way for us to fully have the attention and fully have the intent consistently to be able to do anything. And by meditating, by sticking to the breath, by staying mindful and being able to fully incorporate and be there, you will be able to greatly improve your attention span. And if you pair this with other things like getting rid of social media and delaying instant gratification, you will have one of the greatest attention spans. You'll probably be something like the top 5% of people. And this is one of the major combatants that people have. Most people with their TikTok and all their instant dopamine releases, they won't be able to sit there and understand how paperwork works. So they're at a massive disadvantage compared to those of us who are able to sit and look at all this paperwork, for those of us who can sit down and study for hours, for those of us who have the drive and intent to do what we want to do. This also helps you to improve your image of self and self-thoughts. As I was saying earlier, mindfulness and understanding the self more thoroughly will fully encourage and promote for you to understand what you are as a person, what your goal is, who you are, and why you're here. These philosophical questions, I believe, are commonly not thought about. And I believe this is a great error. And it is in our intention and our desire to help fully develop these thoughts and improve ourselves to have a better image of self and thoughts. Another major benefit is you'll become more accepting of yourself. Now, this is different from fully understanding yourself and becoming more accepting. A lot of the time, our criticisms simply come from our mind and our perception of how other people perceive us. Now, when you meditate and you understand how these thoughts work, you just observe it, let it go. Because it's not reality. Your thoughts aren't real. They're just a compound of what the current moment and what you believe the future is. In a world where we're always trying to predict what's going to happen in an hour from now, maybe just in the future in general, since we're always trying to do that, we must find a way to combat it. And the perfect way to combat anything I found to be meditation. And for those of you who meditate before you go to sleep, I commend you. I don't do that, but scientists have found that it greatly improves sleep. It slows down your heart, and it allows you to fully come to a relaxed state, which is deeply needed from going straight from a computer screen straight to bed. This isn't healthy. This is not healthy. And when you allow yourself to slow down and ground yourself into the present moment, you'll be able to sleep much better. I hope this has been very helpful for everyone who's watched this video. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed it, and if you didn't, feel free to dislike. Have a good day.